Welcome into another edition of QB Academy. I'm Jeremy Huber, joined by the quarterback, Michael Nebrich. And Mike, a new quarterback to look at this week. It's the guy from Eastern, the Ramblers quarterback, Jarome Johnson.
Yeah, we're going to change it up a little bit this week on the Quarterback Academy and talk about some of the top performances from the previous week. And Jarome Johnson had a great week last week, and he's had a really nice season so far through 6 games. Doing really well throwing the football, 860 yards, 15 touchdowns total. He's got 10 touchdowns throwing the football, 5 touchdowns running the football, and he also has 670 rushing yards. So he's averaging over 100 yards rushing per game, and I think that's his biggest feature as a quarterback. And he's a nightmare for defensive coordinators and defenses playing against him because he drops back in the pocket, doesn't see anything open, and immediately takes off, runs, uses that athleticism that he has, that speed that he has to pick up big yardage, and that's why you're seeing the production that he's had so far through 6 games this year.
Yeah, pretty electrifying player. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff he's put on tape.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start with his running ability. Like I said, he's a nightmare for defenses running the football. And this clip here, the defense is playing man-to-man defense, and this is not a defense that you want to play against a guy like him. You know, all the DBs have their backs turned to him, gives him a chance to get out in the open field and make a play. And let's go ahead and run back to the top here. So he shows really nice pocket movement here, escaping through the pocket. And what I mean by that is he's going up through the pocket. So let's go ahead and play this slow motion. Instead of going around the pocket, he takes his drop and goes through it. Now, like I said, all those defensive backs have their backs turned to him. Now he does a really nice job getting to that sideline using his speed, cuts back to the middle of the field, and uses that athleticism to break away and get into the end zone. So this next clip here, if we can go ahead to the next one, just again showing off his running ability, and now they're going to be doing a zone blitz is what the defense is going to be running here, and they get some good pressure on him, but again, he just uses that athleticism to get outside of the pocket. Now let's go ahead back to the top of the clip here. So he does a really nice job evading this rusher at first. Let's go ahead and play it slow motion. Does a really nice job. They bring the zone blitz. He takes his drop, evades that first pressure, but then resets in the pocket, and I like to see that in quarterbacks, but then eventually says, hey, you know what, I can pick up better yards with my feet. Does a really nice job getting to the edge again, and then using that athleticism to weave his way through the defenses, and you see it all the time on his film. So a really polished runner and a nightmare for defenses to kind of stop running the football.
Yeah, I had fun watching him last year. Obviously, these type of plays, pretty electrifying what he's able to do.
Yeah, it's one of those things as a defense, you just shake your head as a defense coordinator, things you can't stop. You know, the defense was there, had everything covered, but a guy like him knows how to make a play when things aren't there for him. So now we're going to go ahead to this third clip and just talk about his improvisational skills a little bit. And you see skills like this with these true dual threat quarterbacks, and it's a perfect example of why dual threat quarterbacks are so dangerous, especially at the high school level, because the defense actually plays this play extremely well. They have everything covered downfield. Let's go ahead to the top of the clip here, and I want you guys to see the defensive line not really putting on much of a rush, more of a let's not let him escape through the pocket. So let's go ahead and play this slow motion and watch that defensive line not rushing too much, staying in their lanes, making sure he can't escape through. But a dual threat guy like this doesn't see anything open, still finds a way to escape outside. And now once he escapes outside, the defense crashes down, loses their guys, and he throws a perfect strike to the end zone. So, you know, plays like that are what make him extremely valuable to this team, make him a very good player in the league that they play in. You know, it's just so hard to stop as a defense when you have a guy like that can run and throw the football. It's just really hard to stop, and that's why you see the success that he's had this year.
Mr. Excitement, Jarome Johnson, on this week's edition of the QB Academy. For more editions of QB Academy, go ahead and find them right here at DMVSTREAM.COM.